In 1989, two peculiar copies of Hwarang Segi, an ancient document from the 8th century, suddenly appeared. They were believed to be the key to unlocking one of the greatest mysteries of the Silla Kingdom. But were they truly reliable? The history of Hwarang Segi dates back to 704, when Kim Dae-mun, one of the most famous historians of the Silla Kingdom, was said to have recorded the activities of the Hwarang youths, warriors renowned for their loyalty and resilience. Their essence went beyond mere militarism. They were symbols of culture, art, and knowledge in Silla society. Trained in a unique context, these warriors participated in numerous wars and political activities, significantly shaping the history of Silla. However, from the 13th century onward, documents about the Hwarang became increasingly rare. Hwarang Segi was lost in the currents of history, and no records of its existence were found until the two copies emerged unexpectedly in the late 20th century. In Gimhae, a modern city once celebrated in Silla's history, Park Changhwa, a former employee of the Royal Library of Japan, was believed to have made these copies during Japan's occupation of Korea from 1933 to 1945. This raised significant questions about the origins and authenticity of the documents. In 1995, a second copy, referred to as the master copy, was made public. With 162 detailed pages, this copy provided specific information about the Hwarang leaders, though much of this remains contentious among scholars. The interest was not only in the content of the document, but also in the questions surrounding its origins, quality, and the method of copying. 4 years later, in 2005, researcher Richard D. McBride II published an article titled The Hwarang Segi Manuscripts, an in-progress colonial period fiction. In this piece, he analyzed and debated the authenticity of these copies. He argued that while these documents might contain valuable information about the Hwarang, they could also be fictional products created within the specific historical context of Japan's occupation of Korea. The initial loss of Hwarang Segi might have given authors of that period the creative freedom to produce what were thought to be restorations of the original. As scholars became divided, one side claiming Hwarang Segi was genuinely authored by Kim Dae-mun, while the other doubted the authenticity of the copies, the story surrounding the document grew more complicated. The role of Park Changhwa also became a point of discussion. Though he was believed to have copied Hwarang Segi, there is no concrete evidence showing he publicly acknowledged this discovery during his lifetime. Numerous questions hung in the air. Did he truly discover the original, or was this merely a product of imagination? Why did the copies emerge so late without any prior indication? Gimhae, the site where the copies were revealed, became a hotspot for the study of Korean culture and history. Yet, no one knew for sure if an original ever existed before Hwarang Segi was lost. This uncertainty forced scholars to confront doubts about the origins of these documents. A series of questions emerged. Should these copies be regarded as documents of historical value or mere fictional works? Thus, Hwarang Segi is not just a historical work, but also an ongoing debate about the authenticity and value of ancient documents. Its emergence has drawn interest not only from researchers, but also the public, sparking a movement to explore the cultural heritage of Silla, while inviting us to reflect on what has been forgotten in the annals of history. From another perspective, the story of Hwarang Segi also reflects the challenges and issues surrounding the storage and preservation of cultural heritage. When a historical document suddenly surfaces, it's not just good news for researchers. It raises new questions about how we understand and present our history. Is Hwarang Segi an indispensable piece of the larger picture of the Silla Kingdom's development, or simply a surprising fictional art piece? The question of the authenticity of Hwarang Segi remains unanswered, but it is clear that this work has enabled millions to learn about the Silla Kingdom, the Hwarang warriors, and Korea's rich history. As we continue to explore our cultural heritage, mysteries like this will always captivate and challenge us to think deeper about history and the people who contributed to the development of this civilization. There will always be researchers and history enthusiasts seeking, exploring, and debating documents like Hwarang Segi, further enriching the historical tapestry of humanity. This story does not end here. It opens new avenues for those eager to learn and understand the past. And so, the mystery of Hwarang Segi continues to live on in the pages of history, in discussions, and in the hearts of those who cherish history and culture.